Hi everyone, my name is Sheng. I work with startups on strategy and operations. If you're like me in California or like many parts of the world, you've probably been locked down for at least a week or longer. And I've been getting a lot of questions this week from colleagues and friends about how I'm able to stay productive and fit during these times where we're just indoors for days or even weeks at a time. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the techniques that's been working out amazingly well for me so far. The two biggest problems with working from home or staying at home for prolonged periods of time is lack of structure and lack of exercise. Work and activities brings a lot of structure into our lives that we normally take for granted because we're so used to it. But without it, the hours and days seem to mesh together until we lose track of time and we just seem to get absorbed into our screens. Our bodies also take a hit. I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media this week about people complaining that they can't hit the gym, can go outside, can go run, and just generally feeling like crap. I've been dealing with these same issues, and the core philosophy of my approach has 4 parts: focus, break, move, and track. The idea is that exercise is the break to my work sessions, while my work sessions are the breaks to my exercise. This will make sense in a bit. Let's start with focus. I use what's called the Pomodoro Technique. It was developed by Francesco Cirillo in the 1980s, and it's based on time boxing concepts from project management and software development. The name Pomodoro, which means tomato in Italian, comes from the kitchen timer that Francesco used. The idea is to break down long stretches of work into smaller, more manageable 25-minute intervals plus 5-minute breaks. You might have heard of Parkinson's law, that work expands to the time available for its completion. 25-minute intervals allow us to focus on one topic only during that time and ignore everything else. You can set a goal if you like, but I find that not being distracted for 25 minutes and just able to focus on one thing is immensely powerful and productive, especially given how distracted we are these days with news, notifications, emails, messages, yada yada. We've all had these days where we sit down in the morning and we're ready to go, but then a message comes in, an email comes in, a news headline grabs our attention, and we're instantly pulled into that instead. And before we know it, it's like noon or 3 p.m. and we still didn't get anything substantially done. It's really frustrating, and I think being at home actually amplifies that effect too. There are a ton of Pomodoro apps out there, but the best one I've found is called Forest. The cool thing about this app is that it visualizes your concentration or focus by growing a tree over the course of that 25-minute session. And if you exit out of the app, it'll actually buzz you back into the app. And if you stay out for longer than, let's say, 8 to 10 seconds, your tree actually dies, which is devastating. If you successfully reach the end of your time goal, you'll be rewarded with some coins that lets you buy nicer looking trees or even grow real trees by donating them to the nonprofit behind Forest. This app is genius because it gamifies focus, it locks down your phone, and it does good by deploying it all at the same time. I usually keep the screen on low brightness and in front of me to keep track of how much time I have left and to see how my tree's doing. It's also a great way to just keep the pressure on. If you're able to get 10 sessions in, I would consider that a pretty productive day. 10 sessions or 5 hours may not sound like a lot, but these are concentrated, focused hours where you're just cranking out work. And being this productive definitely beats many more hours of being distracted. In the Pomodoro system, after 25 minutes, you've got a 5-minute break. But instead of sitting in my chair for 5 minutes and looking at Facebook, which to be honest, really isn't that fun these days anyways, I'll get up, or should I say get down, and do some push-ups and sit-ups. Any kind of exercises will work. So if you don't like push-ups or sit-ups, that's fine. You can do air squats, air lunges, as long as it fits within 5 minutes. Doesn't exhaust you, assuming you have to use your hands and arms later, and that it's light enough that you're able to continue doing this with 25-minute breaks all day long. My first session started about 3 weeks ago with 20 push-ups and 20 sit-ups. Super simple, super quick, gives me a few extra minutes to stand up, stretch, drink, and snack on something. I've now worked up to 30 push-ups and sit-ups, and last week I added bicep curls and tricep extensions along with air lunges and squats to alternate between legs and arm days, depending on how tired I am from the previous day. After 10 to 12 sessions of this, I've got a pretty solid day. All right, tracking. Tracking your Pomodoro sessions and your number of reps is super important for reinforcing the structure that you're building for yourself. I do mine in Notion, but you can use any spreadsheet app like Google Spreadsheets or Excel. I'll leave a link to this page if you want to use it as a template. I found tracking to be especially motivating the longer I do it because I'm able to see that progress over time. It's just really cool to know that I did hundreds of push-ups and sit-ups in one day while maintaining 300 minutes of productivity. And even if you don't care about increasing your reps week over week, I think the simple act of getting up, moving around, and doing something physical is gonna make you feel a lot better than just melting into your seat. All right, guys, that's it for today. My goal for all of us is that we come out of this experience stronger and more focused than we came in. If you found this video useful, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button or even subscribe to see what I crank out next. Till next time, take care and stay healthy.